Hi everyone, welcome back to the Possum Stamps YouTube channel. This is Marla with Mad About Cards and Crafts. Today I'm featuring this mini slimline card featuring the Spooky Cupcake stamp set, which was part of the August release over at Possum Stamps. It comes with 6 different cupcakes, 6 different sentiments, and some candy. I did want to highlight the plain cupcake as well as the birthday sentiment. That means that this stamp set not only is perfect for your fall and Halloween card making, but it's going to be able to be used all year long. I'm inking up my stamps with the wrong ink pad. I need to bring in my VersaFine Black Onyx ink because I wanted to do some heat embossing. So I stamped out my cupcakes onto some Copic friendly paper, added some clear embossing powder. I'm heat setting it, and now we're going to start our coloring. I wanted to point out real quick that I'm only going to be coloring this one witch cupcake, but I did want to talk a little bit about the Instagram hop that's going on right now in case you didn't know. If you head over to the Possum Stamps Instagram account, you will find the whole list of all of the participants that are bringing you tons of inspiration, highlighting all of the new products that were released yesterday. There is a chance to win a $15 gift card. Just follow the links, leave comments along the way, and then the rest of the information for the closing date will be in the description box. As you saw, I did color up using my W markers. I colored the hat using my W markers. I started with my darkest color, which was a W7. On the left and the right side, I mapped out my shadowing. Then I blended it out with a W5. And finally, in the white highlight in the center, I used, I believe, a W3. I'm going to do the same thing with some YG markers. I really wanted a vibrant card, so I'm using some of the YG markers. I started with a YG5, blended it out with a YG3, and finished that up with a YG1. I'll go over those colors again because I really like to intensify my colors. I'm going to finish off the belt and the rim of the hat, so the ribbon on the hat, using some purple colors. And I tried to create a card that kind of had complementary themes. So you're going to see that I will mix and match the colors throughout this card. I'm going to use, I believe, some warm grays as well, or maybe some neutrals on the frosting. So I'm going to create kind of like a grayish colored frosting, and then we're going to move on to the highlighting. I do like to add highlights to my coloring, so I use a number 10 gel pen, and I'm going to add some dots to the left side of all of those cupcakes. Once I finish that up, I will bring in a black gel pen. Well, actually, I'm going to use the black gel pen first. I'll use the black gel pen to color in the eyes of the spider. That's going to give it just a little bit of a pop and a little bit more gloss. And I'll also use it on that adorable mummy cupcake. Aren't those just so cute? So here's where I'm adding that. I will come in later on and add some more highlights to some other pieces that I add to this card. This is a mini slimline, as I said, so I will have 2, or actually 3 layers. So I'm going to have my base card, which is going to be 3 by 6. I'm going to have a layer that I add on top, which is going to be 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then there's going to be a center layer, and that center layer is going to be just a little bit smaller than that. Here is that center layer. This is what's going to house my cupcakes or ground my cupcakes. I created this stencil using my Silhouette Cameo. I went over to my Tim Holtz inks and tried to find some matching colors to the Copic markers that I used, and I found that the Twisted Citron and the blueprint sketch matched beautifully. So on that smaller piece, I used the Twisted Citron Distress Oxide. Here I'm laying down the blueprint sketch, but I'm going to put the stencil back over this, and I'm going to add some black soot. This will add a little bit of continuity, a little bit of interest to my background. And then on my card base, I am going to add that Twisted Citron again. And I love the way that these colors just pop. I love bright and happy cards. I'm really not like a really dark Halloween type of person. I love all the cutesy things. And so this release that Possum just released yesterday was right up my alley. All of the products are perfect for my type of Halloween card making, and I hope that you love them just as much as I do. So I'm gluing down my blueprint sketch layer. And now I'm going to glue down this Twisted Citron. I didn't add any foam tape to this because I am going to add foam tape to the back of my cupcakes. I want to talk a little bit about that candy that I colored. I really struggled with lining up the candy. I just couldn't make up my mind, so I cut a lot of it out. When I get there, I'll talk a little bit more about it, but I just couldn't make up my mind with where I wanted that candy to be. I know that I want the inside of my card to say Happy Halloween. So again, I started with the wrong ink pad. I brought in my VersaFine black onyx ink and I stamped Happy Birthday. I did use a heat gun off camera just to set it so that I could close my card. VersaFine does stay wet just a little bit longer than other inks because it is more of a pigment ink, and so I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to smudge it on my the top of my card. Here I'm adding some more foam tape because, as I always say, I do love the dimension. And then I'm going to start placing my candy. I'm just showing you that I did release the paper. I started to put my candy down in different orientations. I do end up coloring up some more candy and bringing it in because I didn't think that I had enough. And I end up moving all of this anyway. So rather than bore you, I just wanted to show you how I laid this out. And here I'm going to add another piece of the candy corn, but this piece right here is going to go on the inside of my card. And now we're going to stamp the front of the card. So it's going to say Have A, and I'm using that same VersaFine ink, but I wanted to make sure, because I didn't stamp it ahead of time, I want to make sure that number one, it's straight, which it's not. And number two, I liked the placement, which I do. So I took a piece of acetate. If you've never tried this before, it's perfect so that you don't mess up your card, because I would be the one to misstamp my card. And I went ahead, found where I wanted this, made sure it was straight, and there you have it. Have a happy Halloween. So I've added my candy. I have it exactly where I want it. Now I'm going to add some more highlights. So I'm going to add it to the belt. You saw that I added the white center to the spider's eye. I'm going to add some highlights to the candy, and then that's going to be my card for today. Here's a close-up look at that card. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to head over to the Possum Stamp Store and look at their wonderful release. Until next time, have a fabulous day.